Crisis of Infinite Time Dimensions, Part 2, by Rob Harper. Super Priest slides off Lupine's claw and slumps dead in the street, blood pooling in the snow. Lupine screams in primal rage. His mind is gone. The berserker inside takes over, his mind filled with red. The rest of the powers looking on are shocked into a few moments of inaction. Alter Boy is the first to react as he runs up to his fallen mentor and cradles him in his arms. Then the Justice Club acts as one to subdue the raging Lupine. That is their first mistake. They didn't go for the kill right away.
The man has lost his mind.
He murdered Super Priest in cold blood.
Get him!
Doc Odd and Lady Peace were closest to Lupine when he went mad. Lady Peace grabs Lupine in a bear hug, and her increased strength would have been able to hold a normal man. But Lupine's madness gives him strength, and he is able to twist Ode enough to slash the silent heroine across her exposed midriff. Doc Odd prepares a containment spell, but he is too slow. Once Lady Peace falls, Lupine is too close and too fast. His claws delve deep into Doc Odd's throat, silencing his spells forever.
No!
The Marsupial and Power Punch charge at Lupine, who has just murdered at least 2 other powers, and maybe a third depending on how bad Lady Peace was injured. The shock and anger make them sloppy. Instead of formulating a plan, they both came in at once. Power Punch's supersonic fist aims at Lupine's head as the Marsupial comes in for the grab. Lupine dodges the punch with long practiced skill and redirects it ever so slightly so that it hits the incoming Marsupial. The Marsupial never had a chance with his own momentum moving forward, and Power Punch's strike, his neck snaps like a twig.
Oh God, no!
Power Punch drops to his knees as he sees what he has done to his most special friend. The timelines cry out in pain. Tears begin to roll just as Lupine swings back around and slashes off Power Punch's fist of power. He falls to the ground in shock. Captain Milky Way flies in and tackles Lupine through McDougal's. The building collapses, and for a second it all goes quiet. Then from the rubble, a shape can be seen. The shape drags something behind it. As the smoke and dust clears, Lupine steps out of the ruined building, dragging Captain Milky Way by his cape. Lupine looks like he's in a daze.
Why? Why'd you do?
The old Lupine just looks at his younger self shielding Fitness behind his small form, and a single tear runs down his face. He drops Captain Milky Way's cape, and locks eyes with the boy. Just then the tag team twins use their super speed and rush at Lupine from each side, ready to finish this. His rage flares back up at the oncoming attack, and just as the twins are about to strike, he extends his clawed hand outwards. One of the dynamic duo is impaled to the face on Lupine's claw. Its dead form thrashes into its twin, knocking him down. Lupine makes quick work of the dazed twin.
No. No.
The young Lupine himself succumbs to his first berserker rage and charges his out-of-control older self. Logic plays no place in this, as the young Lupine pops his claws and leaps. Lupine swats his younger self out of the air like a flea, slashing the boy's face viciously. Lupine slams into the ground and eventually rolls to a stop face down. Lupine leaps on the prone boy like a lion in the hunt and slashes downwards. The boy's spinal cord cuts like a string, and even more timelines come crashing down. Lupine rolls the now paralyzed boy over, and is about to give the coup de grace when he stops. Just as suddenly as it came, the berserker rage ends. Lupine looks down at the boy, and then around to see what he had done. Lupine's murderous scream is cut short. He looks down to see the top of a crucifix sticking out of his chest, where his heart should be. He falls face first in the bloody snow next to his own younger self. Alter Boy stands over the dead man with a strange look on his face and blood on his hands. To say the timelines were shattered by Lupine is an understatement. If a butterfly flapping can alter the weather, such acts as killing and maiming a whole supergroup in the past can only have disastrous effects. Meanwhile, the Claw and Sarah, his time guide, find themselves back at Knockers the moment they step through the portal.
This isn't supposed to happen.
What happened? Why didn't we go back in time?
We started to, but then there was some sort of disturbance. I don't know what happened.
Sarah rushes out of the men's washroom/time portal to see if her superiors have any answers. She is sorely disappointed when she doesn't exit the bathroom of a Knockers, but rather a closed pharmacy. The place is locked up for the night.
Where are we? This isn't Knockers. But it is.
Oh no, something happened. I read about this in time school, but it was just hypothetical.
Spit it out.
Paradox! Someone changed time!
Sarah and Claude don't have time to talk before they hear sirens and the screech of tires.
Damn it. We must have tripped the silent alarm. We don't have time to deal with the cops. We have to figure out what changed. Let's get to the Institute. Professor Wildebeest will know what to do.
Sarah and the Claw rush to the outskirts of the city to Professor Wildebeest's Institute for Gifted Youths, home of the Beta. The Claw drives on in silence. His own bike had disappeared, as had Sarah's car, but they appropriated a vehicle. They'll make restitutions when this is all over. Sarah pores over her smartphone, which luckily still works.
Claw, we might have a problem.
What now?
I don't know how to tell you.
Spit it out. I'm sorry. Sarah, the pressure's getting to me. What's the bad news? I'll have to know eventually.
The Institute, it doesn't exist anymore. I'm trying to trace back to see where it all changed. Someone messed up the time stream.
It's gone? What about my father? Is there any mention of the Lupine anywhere? Did he make it back?
A lot's changed. I keep going back, but...
Go back to around the time we thought my dad got sent back to. We have to assume that's when it changed. He must have changed something.
Okay. Oh, God.
What?
Stop the car.
What?
Just stop the car. You have to read this yourself.
The Claw hits the brakes and pulls off to the side of the road. Sarah passes him her phone, and he starts to read. His face drops. Nowhere in his imagination did he even think that this could happen. A man who was obviously his dad from the future attacked and killed Super Priest and half the Justice Club. His dad, as a child, was made a paraplegic and retired. He never had any kids. His brother never existed. He never existed. He read on. The Institute had been attacked by the Masters of Violence years ago. They had killed Psyche, who was defending some children there.
Oh, God. Virtue? And Mel?
I'm so sorry. Professor Wildebeest closed the Institute after that.
And no Beta?
Sarah takes her phone back from the Claw. He is slumped down with his head on his crossed arms. She starts to read on.
So Lupine killed Super Priest, and that sent ripples down the time stream. He also killed Doc Odd, which changed the outcome of the Alien War totally. Instead of the Justice Club dying to protect the planet, the First Family did. That means the Justice Club are still around. Maybe we could... No, wait, that can't be right.
What?
It says here the leader of the Justice Club is Judge Jester? Oh, wow, Alter Boy, he didn't take Super Priest's death. Well, he grew up to be a villain named Alternative? Oh, he's...
Enough! It doesn't matter. We're going to change all of this back. All we have to do is go back and stop Nyarlathotep from unsticking my dad, and all of this is fixed.
I'm sorry, Claw. It never happened. Lupine never fought Nyarlathotep because Lupine paralyzed his younger self while killing Super Priest. It's a paradox knot. I don't think we can fix this.
But we can go back and stop my dad from killing Super Priest. I can't believe we have to save that piece of shit.
That might work. It might not fix everything, but if we stop Lupine, it might put us back on track.
The Claw just turns the car around to head back to the city and the time portal. As they approach downtown, they see a huge light show. The Claw has seen enough battles in his time as a Beta to know one. A skyscraper falls and Sarah gasps. The Claw stays focused as they race towards what used to be Knockers. If they succeed, then this battle might be avoided. They screech up to the pharmacy and are about to cross the street when a blur flies past them, smashing into the building. It was a power of some sort being thrown across town. His body just demolished their last hope.
No!
Just then, someone lands nearby.
Is that the best you can do? You shall all bow to Alternative.
A group of powers land across the street. The Claw recognizes Whiteout and Congo Knight. His heart leaps to see one of his friends back alive, but then he sees they aren't quite the same, and it dawns on him that they wouldn't even know who he was. Also there is what is left of the Justice Club. They all look battered and beaten in their fight with Alternative. Alternative, on the other hand, doesn't have a scratch on him. The Claw prepares to let all his rage out on this villain. He ties on his father's severed claw that had been given to him, and turns to face Alternative.
Stay back, friend. His power is unimaginable.
All looks dire. Then there is a streak coming down from the sky. It is followed by a screaming noise of a man reaching supersonic speeds. The streak blasts through Alternative, rendering him into a fine red mist. Once the blood and dust clears, there stands one man who is equal to any villain. Captain Courage just stands there covered in blood and smiles.
So I go on vacation to visit other dimensions for a couple of hours, and this happens? Jeez, what did I miss? And who was that guy? Wait a second, who are all you people? Hey, Claw, what's going on here?
The city is safe once again thanks to its premier power, Captain Courage. But what of the timeline? Only the Claw, Sarah, and Captain Courage, who is in another dimension, remember how the original timeline was. Now they must find their way in this new reality. The end.
So, Rob,
Yes, Jeff?
Fiddlin' Old Time Radio, bringing the funny, old time radio into 21st century.
Yes, it is. FiddleOldTimeRadio.podbean.com if you want to look for it.
You're a genius.
It's on those typey, internety, computer things.
With the tubes and the...
Trucks driving information. FiddleOldTimeRadio.podbean.com. Bringing podcasting. No, wait. Bringing old-time radio to the 21st century.
via podcasting.
And the internet.
And horses.
And in blue microphones that are actually white.
Well, they're the snowball variety of the blue microphone, so they do look much like a snowball. But the Yeti version of these microphones don't look like a Yeti.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I would talk into a Yeti's belly any day of the week.
I'd talk into a Yeti's ass. Wouldn't that be great?
Why, hello there.
FiddleOldTimeRadio.podbean.com.